close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah, we are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
AM PM more than convenience store.
Isolation scattered across my mind, connecting the stars and drawing the line. Climbing, carrying the dust into us. Touch my hand, pull away from you, let's be right. Let's take a flight.
once more as I drink from this cup. So just an apology for tonight. If we make it to heaven, don't open the gate. Oh, oh, oh,
Sorry about being late, guys. Let's do this.
Distance nerding.
Hello, everybody! You are now watching Distance Nerding. And as you can see, I'm here embarrassing my lovely future wife.
Hi,
Hey, how's it going, Jack?
it's going.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching Distance Nerding.
James is on the distance nerdington jet cam.
Yeah, Distance Nerdington jet. James could not make it here. He had to make a quick trip out to Moscow. Yeah, he's not there.
He's not here.
Yeah. He's not here. But
How's everyone doing tonight?
I was gonna say she's Layak,
I'm that's young Phil.
and we're here
To nerd together.
We're talking about anything pop culture, movies, music, food, wrestling, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find us, go ahead and find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Linktree, all at Distance Nerding. Now, before I get into the next part, I got to bring on our very special he is our co-host for the night, aside from me and Layak. I need to have everybody welcome to the stream, to the show, Wayne the Unknown.
How's it going, everyone?
What is up, Wayne? How's it going, man?
It's been pretty good so far. I'm enjoying my 2 days off from work. Go back tomorrow. But other than that, the days have been pretty good so far.
That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah.
What happened?
Ray is wrecking the comments.
Ray. Oh yeah, he said he's gonna wreck the comments tonight. This is gonna be fun. I love it when Ray is here wrecking the comments. I like how he said Layak attack.
Yeah.
A mule. Ray is currently at work, so it means he is watching the show and skipping work. I hope there are no people's bags that get left behind.
I mean, if they do, you know who'll be at fault.
Exactly. We immediately blame
Ray's got a
Ray
lot of Ray's got a lot of baggage.
The puns, yes.
Jackie gets crowd laugh there.
Thanks. All right. So on deck this week, we have the download.
Is Hawkeye going off the tracks?
But then we have starting rumors. Young Phyllis the Wise has Star Wars rumors.
Phileas the Wise. Okay, I see what he did there.
Oh.
I see what James did there, and I'll go with it. It's fine. It's all right. But first, let me get a shout out. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to shout out the things that keep us going. And those, what do we got here? Yes. Okay. So now, before I jump into the shout outs right here, ladies and gentlemen, our other surprise guest of the night, you know him, you love him from STS Wrestling. It's Jester G-Man. Oh, wrong one.
How's it going?
I know they just started laughing as soon as you came in.
Yeah, hey, I get that response. So okay.
I like your shirt.
What? Yeah, I even wore the shirt for you tonight.
What? Exactly.
What? Yeah. So. Yep.
Oh man. Oh God. What did Ray say now? He said, "I'll try to remember to not walk into rotor blades whilst commenting."
Oh goodness gracious.
For those of you who don't know, the SoCal Simba, our friend Ray, the King of Lions, he works at an airport, so it's easy to make those jokes. But anyways, before I had to bring in Jester, and Jester, how are you doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good. As you know, it's kind of late where I am, so.
Yeah.
How late is it?
It's like 3 hours ahead of y'all, so.
Exciting.
Exactly.
How does it feel to live in the future? Or in the
I don't know. I mean, I guess, hey, I'm not really good at predicting the future, so I guess it's not too great. So.
All right, so we were going over what we had on deck.
No. So we already went on deck, so we're doing shout outs. And basically what we're doing is, ladies and gentlemen, this stream is brought to you by Pod Decks. Pod Decks are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are unfamiliar with Pod Decks, you got to get on it, man. Pod Decks are amazing. Not only are they good for interviews, and we use them in our interviews and everything like that, but if you want to be you want to be the cool person at your next work retreat and start the icebreaker, things like that. Or you want to go to a party and, just be like, hey, I've got party games. There you go. Pod Decks are for you. Now, guys, the app itself is $40 a year. And that's it for access to every deck they have. Now, if you use the code nerding10 at checkout when you go to poddex.com, that's 10% off of everything that you can purchase on their website. So that would be not just merch and decks and everything like that. Stickers. They have some pretty cool podcast merch. Actually, that shirt, Jackie, that I wear that says podcaster on it, that's a pod deck shirt.
The one you wore, I think, to your bachelor party.
Actually, I did wear that to my bachelor party.
did.
That's pretty funny. And it doesn't have glitter on it somehow.
No, somehow it didn't.
Yeah, I know,
Come
right?
back glitterless.
Yeah,
Glitterless.
glitterless. Like, how do you go to a strip club and glitter all over you?
I thought you said something entirely different when you said glitterous.
Flip.
Yes. I see. That is much dirtier than my intention. Let's see. Let's go here. Jackie, do you want to take the next one?
What is that? The key end update?
No, the mouse is freezing right there.
Oh. Which one?
All right. Well,
okay. Yeah, you could do
this one. It's okay, guys. It's all right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are wondering, sometimes you wonder, if Poddex powers the podcast, then geez, what powers young Phil? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have an answer for you. It is Dubby. Ladies and gentlemen, Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Obviously, I have none in my system right now. W contains no maltodextrin, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Ladies and gentlemen, what you got to do is go to www.w.gg and use the code nerding10 to get 10% off. They have merch. They have 5 delicious flavors of the Dubby, as well as shaker bottles and all kinds of different things. Guys, you got to get Dubby. I drink Dubby. It is great. Helps me stay focused when I'm having a long night of Destiny or Halo or whatever game that I'm playing at the time. It works, and it actually helps me when I'm building my Lego kits on Mondays. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, now we know who powers the show and everything like that. I believe it is now time for the Geekend Update.
So it looks like first up we have Stockton Con, which was August 13th through the 14th.
So jealous. You guys got to do that.
Yeah, dude. Stockton Con was a great time. So the guests that were there, Ron Perlman, Ryan Hurst, both from Sons of Anarchy, Thunder Rosa, JBL. He doesn't have her on here, but Mickey James was there. Like they had basically wrestling royalty. Thunder Rosa is the current champion, man. That's a big deal. John Heder was there, Heater, as Jackie wants to say, but I mean, I'm Napoleon Dynamite, man. And
no, actually, I wanted to say Heder, and you told me it was Heater.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Heater.
Okay, okay.
I might be wrong, but I'm just saying. Art Adams. I mean, so many more guests that were there. A lot of artists and vendors and everything like that, guys. It was a great time. I went as Unipool, and pretty much spent an entire day covered in sweat and taking pictures as a unicorn covered Deadpool. And it was great. Actually Ming Chen was there from Comic Book Man, and he loved my costume, dude. He was loving it.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it was great. We had a good time.
So from the pictures I saw, you guys had fun, and I saw a video on the Stockton Con's Instagram where JPL was dancing with a cosplayer.
Yeah. And then Mickey James got involved in that too. She was the one with the cowboy hat. So that was it was a good time. It was a good show. They also had SPW wrestling there. They were having a couple matches there and everything like that. There's a ring on the outside and everything like that. Tyler Yancey, what's up in the chat, man? All right. Now, also coming up soon, we've got California Republic Comic Con in Placerville, California on September 25th. That's the next show that we are making a major appearance at, and that we're going to be interviewing, people at and everything like that. We're going to be having there's going to be incredible panels. That's be announced soon. Expect tons of artists and vendors, cosplay contests, even with some cash prizes. So if you're unfamiliar with Colossus Grow shows, there's always a cash prize. There's always really good consolation prizes as well, like the Forever Pass, which will get you into any Colossus Girl show for life. And then also maybe a couple prizes given out by Distance Nerding. You never know. You got to be at the show to find out. So we'll see everybody again on September 25th in Placerville, California at California Republic Comic Con. We'll be getting more details very soon, and I know I can't wait.
Neither can I. Can you see it on my face?
You look so excited.
This is excited.
She's like, that's my happy face.
Cool. Tommy Lee Jones from that one movie. This is my happy face.
My happy face. Oh man. Well, that being said, I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm ready, and it's time for the download. Right? The download. Welcome to the internet.
All right.
Jack, I'll take this one.
Okay, you get to take the fun one.
No, it's big. That's why.
Okay, let's go.
So, guys, the first story that we have on the slate is actually kind of a big deal, but also just a lot to cover right here. So, oh boy, more Disney news. Ladies and gentlemen, Disney's big D23 Expo is coming. It's kicking off with Disney Plus Day on September 8th. Then D23 will be on September 9th through the 11th. Expect a lot of big announcements and reveals coming to the expo from Marvel, Lucasfilm, Disney, Pixar, and even park news. So here's some highlights, guys. Be ready for a doozy. There's a lot of stuff that they announced is going to be going on here. So on Friday, September 9th, Disney Legends Award Ceremony. So Disney 100 kicks off at the D23 Expo with the presentation featuring Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Whew, that was a lot to say. The Disney Legends Ceremony will once again honor those visionaries and artists who have made significant contributions to the Disney legacy. Names of the 2022 inductees to be announced in the coming weeks in Hall D23. So the next thing after that is inside look at the Society of Explorers and Adventurers at Backlot Stage. So, I mean, are you guys familiar with the Society of Explorers and Adventurers whole concept that they're doing?
No.
I am not.
I'm not.
So you know how Disney's making movies about all of the rides in the park, right?
Yes.
Well, what they're doing,
The last one was what, Jungle
Cruise, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which they mentioned the Society of Explorers and Adventurers in that. But the idea is they're trying to do a connected, like, universal thread to go through all of these rides and make an excuse to say, okay, well, this is the common tie for each of these rides, and they all exist in the same universe. And the way they're doing that is they're creating this whole thing, like this whole kind of like background society in their thing called the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. And apparently they're like starting to kind of like slowly eke them into the rides. So that's kind of one of the things that they're doing now. Yeah. 1 second here.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
You could do it when you were done.
No, but yeah, so the inside look at the so they're going to do an inside look on that, and then of course there's a whole thing on The Simpsons, and that's a chat with the cast and creatives of this iconic show and premiere.
I was sitting here going, why would The Simpsons be in that? Isn't that Fox? And then I realized,
Yeah, Disney owns them now.
yes.
I know they made a big announcement that the next season they're going to be talking about why, how they're able to predict so many things that have happened in real life. they're like supposed to be like addressing it and making a joke about it.
Oh wow, I'd really want to know the mystery behind that too, because they have really predicted a
Hard
lot
to
of stuff.
believe.
And I'm assuming
Hard to
it's
believe
a,
that show's going on since the Tracy Ullman show.
yeah, like I'm assuming it's a joke. I don't think that it's, you know, they're really gonna give the secret. I think they just had a
Yeah.
lot of luck with that. But I mean, like, still, that it's gonna be funny, like the way that they decide to do that. So then the next thing here, they got a studio showcase, Disney Animation and Pixar. Guests will be treated to new details, first looks, sneak peeks, surprises, and announcements regarding upcoming theatrical and Disney Plus titles from Disney Live Action, Pixar Animation Studios, and Walt Disney Animation Studios. Studio heads, filmmakers, and cast members will come together on stage with the inside scoop on some of these studios' most exciting titles, and that's going to be in Hall D23. Again, I'm excited for this because like Disney Animation Studios has been making leaps and bounds. And I think a lot of that is because some of the old staff from Pixar went over to Disney Animation Studios and they've been coming up with really good stuff, you know?
I know. I always get scared that Disney's just gonna not forget. I don't know why I said forget. I'm always afraid it's like you think that I'm always afraid they're not gonna come up with new stuff, but then they come out with stuff like Encanto and Coco and all the like the newer like Rages, even Frozen. And it's like it's almost like a relief.
Yeah, I mean they come out with good stuff, you know, like you don't always think that they're going to come out with like the best stuff that's out there. But I mean they do. They end up coming out with really good content.
Well, and I even the other day, I was having my final weekend as a single female, and I watched Inside Out, and I mean even that was like a good that was also a good movie, but every time like you think that like, oh, they can't possibly come up with anything new and exciting, you know, then they do, and it's like, oh, it's almost like a relief. It's like, yeah.
And I mean, they just announced this movie, Strange. I think it's like Strange Worlds or something like that. And it looks interesting. It's very like 1950 sci-fi.
So
kind of like Meet the Robinsons.
Kind of, yeah. You know, it almost is. I mean, it's got like that signature Disney animation style to it. So like that Wreck-It Ralph kind of animation style. But it's yeah, like the whole idea is it's supposed to be like this very 1950s Art Deco style like thing. Like even the trailer starts off with like the old timey like new adventure, like that whole thing like that they do with that.
That's not really 1950s, but
it's
Art Deco is like more like 1920s.
Okay.
And that's more like 1930s, 1940s. 1950s would what you would probably consider like mid-century.
So she knows that, yeah, she does know like stuff that fits in centuries.
It blows my mind that people like I have a friend at work who I am like slowly introducing her to like golden age Hollywood movies, and I had her watch the movie Gaslight, and she was blown away that they made movies in the 1940s.
Oh man, does it like destroy her mind that there were movies in the 20s?
Yeah, like she like so it's just funny, but yeah, you know, art deco is more like 1920s.
Okay,
you should introduce your friend to Metropolis then.
Oh, Metropolis.
Metropolis is scary.
It's a weird movie.
I don't know why, but silent films terrify me for some reason. And then I think recently, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say squirrel moment about Metropolis is I think in the last 7 years they found like a portion of that movie that was missing in like Brazil or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's super interesting. Yeah. I yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we've got that right there, and then the last thing on the 9th is the D23 Expo Masquerade, the ultimate Disney costume contest with the host Nina West and judges and guest judges Yvette Nicole Brown, Ashley Eckstein, and Ali Mackey. Ashley Eckstein, that's actually pretty funny that she's in there. That's the real Ahsoka Tano.
Oh yeah, the voice.
Yeah, she's the voice of Ahsoka Tano.
So where is this D3 thing thing at?
D23 is in Anaheim.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because of course it is.
Well, I mean, we tried to we actually tried to get tickets and we can get them.
Oh, we got to send Raider
They're,
in.
they're,
I know, right?
He's our Southern
they're
California
expensive.
ambassador.
Yeah, the SoCal Simba.
These D23 Star Wars Expo are like, I was looking at prices for Star Wars, the Star Wars Celebration. Holy.
Oh yeah, London next year too.
So does it change places every year?
Celebration does.
Oh,
Star Wars Celebration changes every year.
how many times have they had it?
I'm not sure. They've been doing that at least 10 years though.
Mm.
I know they had it
basically since Disney took over.
right
Disney took over.
when Disney bought Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
I say take over because how much Disney owns a bunch of stuff now. No, not Disney. I'm just saying they own a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do own a lot of stuff. So that's it for the 9th. So Saturday, September 10th, we've got Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios doing a presentation. So filmmakers, celebrity talent, and guests and surprise guests will join representatives on stage on Hall D23 to showcase theatrical and Disney Plus titles, going behind the scenes of these studios' highly anticipated films, specialty series. Attendees will see exclusive footage and be among the first to learn what else is in the works. And that's what we were talking about is a lot of the stuff that Marvel announced, we know they're holding back because between Disney Plus Day, which is on the 8th, and between Saturday, September 10th, they're probably going to release or announce a whole lot more. And then on top of that, there's also Disney Investor Day at the end of the year, and that's
I'm a
where
Disney
they do
investor.
it.
I have 2 shares.
You can watch it.
Oh, yes. Exclusive access.
We might have to send Jackie to Anaheim to cover for us. But yeah, no, they usually do announcements at Disney Investor Day too, and it's usually their big announcements because those are for the shareholders. So there's that right there. Now we have a peek behind the curtain at the Disney, the Walt Disney Imagineering, Illusions and Special Effects Development Lab at Walt Disney Archive Stage. So that seems like it would be kind of fun. Bob's Burgers, which is now also owned by Disney because Disney owns everything. The cast and creator of the Emmy Award-winning animated series and the Bob's Burgers movie in a lively panel discussion. Marvel Comics celebrating 60 years of Amazing Spider-Man. So, of course, because that they own Marvel in general, they also do their comic announcements at D23. Celebrate 60 spectacular, sensational web-slinging years of Spider-Man from his humble debut in 1962's Amazing Fantasy number 15 to wall-crawling his way to international superstardom. Marvel's executive Spider editor Nick Lowe and editor-in-chief CB Cebulski team up to trace the comics history of the web head across 6 decades. So that's going to be another fun thing. Disney's Epic Entertainment Showcase. Disney branded television will present an exclusive showcase of upcoming content. The showcase will feature appearances by talent and never before seen sneak previews of original content for Disney Plus, Disney Channel, and Disney Junior, including looks at the new Disney Plus original series, National Treasure, American Born Chinese, and The Santa Claus. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm looking forward to the Santa Claus TV series. It's supposed to be a continuation after one, so seeing Tim Allen return is going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Tim Allen, because he's obviously a lot older than when he did the first couple movies, but it's going to be interesting to see Tim Allen as the Santa Claus again and kind of reprising that role. The National Treasure series also seems really interesting because even though it's not going to have Nick Cage in it. It might. He might have a cameo in it, but it's supposed to be like the next generation of treasure hunters.
What is American Born Chinese? What is that?
I'm actually
that's a question.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure what that one is supposed to be.
I'm wondering if that is like the name of something, or is it like a docu thing?
Right, because that seems like a documentary. I'm gonna have to look.
Oh, I was looking it up. It's originally a novel by Jean Lun Yang. It's originally a book.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so they're probably doing a show on that, like an adaptation of the show.
Then it looks so outside of that, it looks like there's a celebration of Disney's animation and Encanto, where sorry, it looks like there's that where the team behind the Academy Award-winning Walt Disney Animation Studios tells the stories from the making of the film plus a few surprises, premiere backstage. And then some other things that they have lined up are going to be FX's American Horror Story Behind the Screams.
It's another thing I forgot they own because FX is like the more hip Fox.
I don't know how FX gets away with the things that they put on their channel, i.e., American Horror Story, because I like American Horror Story. My only issue with it is because, and I like the idea behind it, where it's a series, but like every like season is like a new story and people are new characters. But the issue that I have is that because it's the same characters or the same actors playing different characters, I can't forget who they were the previous season. So like somebody who was good in the previous season could be like an evil character. And so I kind of have a hard time like forgetting their previous character.
Right.
But it looks like with this FX American Horror Stories Behind the Screams, the show's designers, artists, and stylists will give fans an inside details on how these creative things how they keep things fresh over 11 installments, and an anthology spinoff. You sounds like you have some strong feelings about that.
No, I sort of believe that American Horror Story's been on the air for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm
not dissing because they even turn it into American Horror Stories. As James said, it's an anthology, which each episode is a different thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder if they switched over to that format because they were running out of long things, like long.
Probably.
Right. Just like the long-term stories were getting harder to write.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, look at Guillermo del Toro. He's making he has an anthology series coming out soon on Netflix.
Yeah, and that looks interesting too. I think that's also called Cabinet of Curiosity.
Yep.
I have to check that out.
Mm-hmm. But like it's the whole thing with that. I think what they're starting to learn is that with anthology series, you can actually like churn out more stories instead of having to do one whole cohesive story. You can do a themed thing, and it's more challenging for the writers.
It worked well in movies such as ABCs of Death Theater and ABCs of Death 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like also on the back lot of this event will be Dancing with the Stars 31st season celebration. Stars of the hit competition series celebrate 31 seasons. Whoa, how many do they do in a year?
I can't even believe that's 31 seasons already.
They do
seasons
a year.
I remember watching it as a kid.
Where they so they're gonna have that with memorable performances, award-winning choreography. I have a speech impediment, sorry, and of course mirror ball trophies. That is another thing that will also be on the back lot. Back on the premiere stage, we will also see a Zootopia Plus sneak peek, which is going to be first look at the newest animated series coming to Disney Plus from Disney Animation with directors Josie Trinidad and Trent Corey. So that's also something we can look forward to seeing on the premiere stage, along with
such a good movie,
along with the other things that are on the premiere stage.
Mm-hmm. So then that's
pretty much just going out of the stuff this year.
So that's pretty much it for Saturday, and then Sunday, the last day, they've got 3 events, and it looks like there's one on the premiere stage, one on Hall D23. The last one I think is generally on it doesn't say what stage it's on, but essentially a boundless future, Disney parks experience and products. So I mean they're going to be announcing the new things happening in the parks, right? Disney Parks Experiences and Products Chairman Josh D'Amaro presents a look at what will happen around the world in parks, on the high seas, at home, and beyond. Attendees will get a behind-the-scenes look at what Disney Imagineers are working on. So it's always kind of fun to see what they're working on in the parks, what new things are coming. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to announce what they're doing in that parking lot next to Disneyland, because they demolished one of the parking lots and they're turning it into a part of the park now.
I saw something on I think it was clickbait where it said that Space Mountain was closing, and I was like, what? So I clicked on it and it was like Space Mountain Tokyo or Disneyland Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
good old click.
Yeah.
Disney's always coming out with something new every year, I swear.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting because right now they're building it in Florida right now, but the Tron ride from Disney Hong Kong, they're rebuilding it in Disney World right now in Orlando. And I like that ride looks like so much fun. And then I know they said that they're going to be moving some of the rides, not moving, but like recreating some of the rides from some of the other parks at Disneyland pretty soon. So I think that's part of what they're probably doing in that parking lot.
Okay.
So on the premiere stage, we've got Walt Disney Imagineering, 70 years of making impossible possible. Imagineers past and present discuss the core elements of storytelling and innovation that bring dreams to life for guests from all around the world. So, I mean, we get to see some of that Imagineering stuff that they've been doing, like just the crazy, insane stuff that they create between like Disney Imagineering and Industrial Light and Magic. Like those two companies have innovated everything that we take for granted now.
Seems like, yeah, okay. I don't know what I was gonna say. Then it looks like on the hall D23, there's a Disney Princess. Disney Princess, the concert live at D23. Disney Concerts will present a special performance of Disney Princess, the concert, featuring Tony nominee Susan Egan. Okay, I don't always say those things right. The cast will perform favorite Disney Princess and Frozen songs. Okay, I'm there. Including classics such as A Part of Your World, Let It Go, A Whole New World, Colors of the Wind, and Almost There. The performers will share exclusive behind the scenes stories from their time on stage and screen
So that'll be fun, especially to hear Tony nominees singing these songs in concert.
So out of these 3 days, if you could only go to one, which day would you go to, Philippe?
By far, it'd be Saturday.
What about everybody else?
If I learned anything about going to like 3-day events, Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Saturday.
Like Saturday is where all the major announcements are, so
Yeah.
that's usually the one that I would want to go to.
Saturday does seem has the most fun. Although Sunday interests me because of the Imagineering one that they have where they discuss all the core elements, because I'm trying to write a book of stories, and so it'd be interesting to hear how some of the concepts that they use.
Yeah, Sunday would be my backup just because I do also want to know about what new things are coming to the park, and I've always been interested in Imagineering. That was literally the first show that I watched on Disney Plus when it came out, was the Imagineering documentary.
I think we watched it together. Yeah.
Jeez. D23 would be a fun thing to cover on my channel.
Yeah, man.
We gotta find somebody who's good. You have them broadcast live.
I know. Who do we know that's going to D23? James, I need you to get on that.
I may know a few people, cosplay friends, who are considering on going.
And you know what's funny is I can technically go to D23 and cosplay as Deadpool because he's a Disney princess.
And you can watch both movies on Disney Plus. And they're not censored or anything. They're the full line.
Oh yeah, yeah. I 100%. If we ever find a way to get to D23, I'm cosplaying as Deadpool as a Disney princess. Right, and like straight up, like I almost want to do. I almost want to do Jasmine because I would wear the full Deadpool suit, but then have the top, right?
Oh my goodness.
Or either Jasmine or Ariel, right? So I could have like the seashells over the suit.
Cute.
You know who I was also picturing? If you were Deadpool and you dressed up as Elsa from Frozen.
Oh, that would be funny too. Just like walk around. I would have a Deadpool mask because it already has the blonde hair on the top.
Or you could just have a really cheap wig.
Yeah, that would work too. Just look like a little pig, but with like Deadpool. Walk around. All right, everybody, let it go. Let it go. Can't hold me back anymore.
Man.
Looks like Hawkeye is ready to ride the Disney train again. Disney Plus's Hawkeye series directors Bert and Bertie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they on Sesame Street.
Beat me to it.
Robert Ducky.
You're the one.
You're the one.
You make bath time so much fun. Disney Plus's Hawkeye series directors have signed back on with Disney to direct a feature film based on the classic Disney park attraction Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Is it Kieran? I feel like I'm saying that wrong.
No, you said it correct.
Okay.
It is Kieran.
Kieran and Michelle
Mulroney.
Mulroney, where you might know from Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, are writing the script. Are we looking forward to this?
I kind of wasn't at first.
What do you think that this will be about?
And that's the reason why I kind of wasn't at first, because I'm like, okay, I don't know what to expect with something like this, but like there are people who I trust that are on this, right? Like Kieran and Michelle Mulroney. I loved Game of Shadows. I thought that was a good movie. I liked the way that they treated who's the villain from Sherlock Holmes?
Moriarty.
Yeah, Moriarty. Like I thought they did a really good job of the way they treated Moriarty. And everything like that. Like, they made him a genius but very devious and everything like that. Like, they did a good job. Bert and Bertie, I'm very happy with the way that they handled Hawkeye and the way that they did that series. The action was good, the pacing was good. So I mean, like, I think that it's a good writing team, it's a good directing team. Where I'm afraid is what the story might actually be with this.
Well, to find out the story, we can check out the Big Thunder Mountainopsis.
Big Thunder Mountainopsis. Synopsis.
I feel like with the name, it's going to be a fantasy adventure movie like they did with, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I feel like it's going to be a fantasy adventure film like they did with Jungle Cruise.
Right. Yeah. No, I was right along those lines. I was going to say that as well, as like with Jungle Cruise, it was like, how are we going to come up with something for Jungle Cruise? But yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
So it actually isn't a synopsis for a movie. It's just a synopsis for the ride.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to know what it looked like, it's a giant rock mountain that has basically you ride a cartoon train on it.
Right.
Yeah. So a minecart ride set in a mining town where gold is discovered. The original Big Thunder Mountain opened in 1979 in Disneyland in Anaheim, with another version opening soon after at the Magic Kingdom in Orlando. It is one of the more recognizable coasters in all of Disney's parks, also appearing in the Tokyo and Paris locations. No plot details on this project have been released, but it is fun. But it is fun that the Disney attraction movies are branching out into new rides, because there isn't any movie or specific lore behind the creation of Big Thunder Mountain. The upcoming film is is open. What does it say?
Is open to tell a brand new story.
Okay, is open to tell a brand new story. I can't.
It's not
read.
scripted, guys. I swear.
Okay.
The show is not scripted.
And I hope that it's a fun and exciting one. Maybe tied to the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, maybe.
So it sounds like it's gonna take place in like the 1800s during the gold rush era, from what you guys were saying how they discovered gold in the mountain.
So have you guys ever watched, or in the past or whatever, like any of like Disney's, like, have you ever seen like the Apple Dumpling Gang?
Yep.
No.
Yep. I've seen that.
Okay.
I'm young here, so I don't know what that's about.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
I'm probably the oldest.
so Apple Dumpling Gang is like it's like, I don't want to say it is one of my favorite movies, or it's one of my favorite movies, and I discovered it when I was older. But I almost feel like it would be kind of interesting for them to do a movie similar to that feel, but in this setting to represent this ride, because that's where I feel like that ride would fit into that movie. That makes sense.
Right. Well, I know the Society of Explorers and Adventurers is supposed to take place mostly around the Victorian area. So, because that's where like a lot of that stuff is. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's about the same time.
That's what I was going to say. So, like, the time frame is probably going to fit like perfect for something like that. That would be cool if they did like a Apple Dumpling Gang kind of like adaptation, like updated version of that.
Well, just like something that's like just Western.
Yep.
Western, yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Outside of Cars, they haven't really done any. I'm not saying that Cars was Western, but like, I can't. It makes sense to me, but I can't explain it.
I haven't thought about that movie for a long time. I got to go watch that movie again now. Apple Dumpling Gang.
The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Pretty good movie.
When we had COVID, I went through and I watched Apple Dumpling Gang, and then I also watched like Three Bears and a Man or something like that. I don't know. It was a really cute. It was a really good movie. It was super good. But I went through and I watched a lot of like the and then I watched a lot of like the older like Disney.
Yeah, the Disney classics are really good.
Like the old. I didn't watch Old Yeller because
obvious reasons. Yeah.
But like the
spoiler,
the old Yeller type movies.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you spoil Old Yeller at this point? I mean,
you can spoil it with one word. Bang!
Hold on. Sorry. Before you guys say anything. Guys, we're about to spoil a 60-year-old movie. Let's do this.
All I know is the first time that I ever watched Old Yeller, I was in the backyard doing something, and my dad. It was probably on the Wonderful World of Disney that used to be on Sunday nights. And my dad comes in the backyard. And my dad comes in the backyard and he goes, "Hey, there's a really good movie on TV. It's called Old Yeller." And he's like, "You should watch it." And I was like, "Okay." So I came up in the house and I was watching it, and he goes, "But I am going to let you know the dog dies at the end." And I'm like,
"You
dick." Okay. So you want me to watch?
Oh no.
You dick.
I don't know. You thought it was a really good movie, so I watched it.
I mean, it is a good movie. Just it sucks that the dog died at the end.
Oh, jeez.
I'll give him credit. He warned me.
Yeah,
he did warn me.
So Daniel Flores in the chat, and shout outs to my boy Daniel Flores. But I just watched that movie for the first time last Monday. So funny. He's talking about Apple Dumpling Gang.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
James said he needs an Apple Dumpopsis. Because he doesn't know what it is.
Apple Dumpling Gang it's just a cute like little movie. Basically, I think it's in a fictitious town somewhere around Sacramento. Actually, I believe. Yeah, I think it's fictitious, but it's
more reason for him to watch it.
Yeah, but basically these kids, they are sent out west. Somebody in this like mining town inherited these kids. And the guy who inherited them, who was like picking up like a package, he basically pawns it off on somebody else to pick up, and then the guy Bill the Hulk is in it.
Luke Ferrigno?
No, Bill Bibsky is in it.
Bill Bibsky. Okay.
The human version of Hulk.
Yeah, Bruce Banner. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Or
David Banner. What was his name? What was his name in the original Hulk series? Wasn't it David Banner in the original Hulk series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I think it was
so.
actually Bruce Banner, but yeah.
Terry Morgan, Stacey Manning,
Bruce
Tim
Banner.
Conway, Don Knotts. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
He played in a lot of Disney movies
Yeah,
back
Don
in
Knotts
the
was in there.
70s.
That's the one I remember. Yeah.
He played in
But
a lot.
so Bill, yeah, so like I said, Bill Bips, what I can't say his name, was in it.
Uh-huh.
He basically he like tells this guy that he'll pick up his package, thinking it's like it's a valuable package, and it ends up being like these 3 kids, and so he's trying like he kind of just doesn't know what to do with these kids. So he's like the caretaker of these kids, and then meanwhile, Don Knotts and somebody else, like, and it's like a side story. They're like trying to break into this bank. Anyways, it's a really cute movie, and I'm probably not doing it any justice.
So guys, it's on Disney Plus. Both movies are, because there's a sequel too.
Yeah, there's Apple Dumpling Gang, and then the
Really?
Apple
I didn't know
Dumpling
that.
Gang rides again.
Yeah, guys, go
I feel
watch
like
it.
I've actually seen this movie.
What?
Daniel Flores in the chat again. Oh, wait a minute. I heard you. I just didn't catch you right
Oh,
there.
I thought you did it first, so I freaking.
But Daniel
did it
Flores, he said they mentioned Tulare County when they married the couple, which made me pop because I'm originally from Tulare County.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And then James said, Apple Dumpling Gang, boots with the fur.
You know, the one thing I've noticed with their Disney ride movies, a good chunk of them, if not all of them, are fantasy type or fantasy adventures. Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise. I'm trying to think of other Disney ride movies they've done.
A fantasy adventure?
Yeah, because it seems like a good chunk of their so far like recent Disney films they made based off the rides or fantasy
what is it?
adventure.
Witch on something mountain?
Oh, Hunt for Witch, the Hunt to Witch Mountain or something. They made there was the original,
Race
and
to
they made
Witch
one in the
Mountain.
'90s. Race to Witch Mountain. There was the original, then there was one in the '90s, which was on which was a Disney Channel original movie back then. And then they made one a few years back with The Rock, which I come to notice The Rock is, you know, likes being in Disney fantasy films.
Yeah, he's been in a
Just
lot of
saying,
Disney movies.
aside from Witch Mountain, yeah, Rock's been in a lot of like Disney
Jungle
movies
Cruise
lately.
was-
Moana,
The pacifier? No, the
The-
pacifier is
The game
Vin
plan.
Diesel. He was, yep, that one. Yeah, he was in.
I think you also have to realize that Dwayne Johnson, even though he has 2 little kids, he also has an adult daughter.
Yeah.
So he
Yes.
probably started. He
who's
probably
now a
is.
wrestler.
Yes.
He's in NXT.
Exactly.
So he probably originally started being in them because they were movies that his older daughter could watch, and now he's
Yeah.
got little daughter. Now he's got younger daughters, so he's still appearing in these movies.
Mhm.
So I would be surprised if Big Thunder Mountain has Dwayne the Rock Johnson play as one of the main characters.
He wouldn't, just because he's already in Jungle Cruise, and that's the whole thing. Is it's since it's supposed to be the same universe, I doubt they would do that.
Okay.
Mm.
So
How do you
it's like what the Disney ride universe is what we're calling now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Society of Adventurers and Explorers.
It
and
says
things.
maybe tied.
Well, like I said, all the ride movies, all the movies except for Pirates of the Caribbean, but like all the movies that are based on rides are supposed to be tied to this new group that they made.
So along those lines, there is one of the podcasts that I listen to, Stuff You Missed in History class. They have, I'll put it in the Distance Nerdington post. They have a very good episode on the Haunted Mansion.
I forgot about that one. Eddie Murphy.
Well, there is
That movie sucks, but they're coming out with another one that's I
So-
think supposed to be tied into this as well.
It also just talks about how it just kind of talks about the evolution of the Haunted Mansion, and there's like a book that also like goes along with it. But I'll find it and I'll tag it in the Distance Nerdington post if anybody is interested to hear more about the Haunted Mansion and kind of its road to maybe a movie one.
I've only seen
day.
that movie twice. Back then, I didn't know it was based. Like when I heard about Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion, I didn't know they were based on rides until I saw a special feature on the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie where they showed a tour of Pirates of the Caribbean ride when it first came out in the '60s.
Now, moving on to some TV news, guys. the CW television network is about to have a new corporate parent. Nexstar, the largest owner of local television stations in the U.S., will acquire a 75% stake in the network after 6 months of negotiation. Current corporate co-owners Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery will each maintain a 12.5% interest in the channel, and Nexstar will continue to order original programming from both companies' television divisions, as well as elsewhere. The CW launched in 2006, getting its name from the first two letters of the names of its original corporate owners, CBS and Warner Brothers. Both companies, as they exist now, have been looking to divest from the network following major corporate mergers, CBS joining with Viacom to become Viacom CBS, and now Paramount Warner Brothers merging with Discovery to form Warner Brothers Discovery. The CW's current CEO, Mark Pedowitz, will remain in the position after the deal is finalized, which is expected to happen in Q3 of 2022. How do you guys feel about CW being acquired by a local media group?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I know CW scrapped two upcoming shows, Gotham Knights and the live-action Powerpuff Girls show.
I heard a lot of bad things about the production on the Powerpuff Girls show, though.
It was a lot of mixed things, and I also think CW was in charge of making the Gotham Knights TV show, which they also they didn't even show. They just showed a trailer, and that was it. It got scrapped.
And I think part of that is Warner Brothers too. They were trying to pull out of certain things when it came to all that, which we do have a story about some of the things that's going on with Warner Brothers and the shows.
Sorry, I'm so bitter about the Batgirl movie being canceled.
A lot of people are bitter about that.
That's all I'm saying on that matter. But I think CW, I've noticed CW, just like Warner Brothers, they're making a lot of changes for the next 10 years to come.
Right. Especially when it comes to DC.
Oh yeah, they're finally doing what Marvel has been doing for almost 20 years now.
They say that, but the thing is I with DC, they said the same thing about when they started with the Zack Snyder movies, and you saw where that route went. And a lot of that was because of executives. Yeah, most of the executives at Warner Brothers that messed that up. You know, because they were like, we don't think this is going to make money. And then it's like, oh, okay. Well, you don't think it's going to make money. Let's put the original version on HBO Max. And it was like, you know, big deal because
it was already too late by that point.
You know, it was, you know, but I mean, that's Warner Brothers. When you have executives that don't know anything about storytelling and just want money, they tend to mess up storylines. So,
or don't read source material.
I mean, for sure, they don't read the source material. They're just more like, what do the kids like to watch?
Oh no, let's put
the kids like these things. Let's put these comic book things out. It doesn't have enough tits.
As much as I love Batman, and I'm all for the Dark Knight, I feel like Batman is Warner Brothers' go-to character to put on a big screen, or TV shows, or video games. Like, just show someone else we haven't seen yet, or we haven't seen in a long time. Bring back Constantine. Bring Zatanna. Bring Captain freaking Caveman.
Captain Caveman. Wow. That's a
blast from the past
there, man. Yeah, that's a throwback right there. Yeah. No, I mean the whole thing is, like I said, they care more about money, so they know whether a Batman movie is good or bad, it's guaranteed to put butts in seats. So that's the whole thing. Is that's why they continue to reinvent Batman rather than going after other things. They're afraid of what everything else will do. You know,
I mean,
you think it's partly because they try to compare the Batmans? Is that why they put?
No, they're not really comparing Batmans. Like, they reinvent Batman every couple of years because they know it's going to sell. That's the whole thing. But like, you know, they're afraid to do new Superman movies. They're afraid to do other DC characters and stuff. Whereas Marvel is like, throw spaghetti at the wall. Why don't we make Shang-Chi? Yeah. You know, you know.
Well, I know a lot of people talk about the Batman fans. I know a lot of people talk about, you know, who's the best Batman, who's the, you know, and it seems like, you know, that list gets longer and longer. So you have to add some to the list, and You know,
Yeah.
My personal opinion, Kevin Conner is my all-time favorite Batman. He's the only Batman actor to appear on TV shows, video games, He's voiced Batman for nearly 30 years. He's the longest role for Batman, in my opinion.
Kevin Conroy is Batman, and I've said this on the show
Mhm.
multiple times. Every time I listen to anything, or anytime I read a comic book, the voice in my head is Kevin Conroy. The same way the voice in my head is Mark Hamill when it comes to the Joker.
Mhm.
You know, like as much as I love the other portrayals of the Joker, I always gravitate towards Mark Hamill, no matter what.
Oh yeah, no. They're like I said, they're the only actors who voiced that character for so long.
Right.
And as much as I love Batman, I think he needs to be put to rest for 10 years. And like what Marvel does, show our characters. Marvel's not afraid to show that not just the A-listers, but the B and C-list villains and heroes. Like they're not afraid because they know that their fans would get tired of seeing Iron Man for like the 50th, 30th, 40th time.
List character, they elevated Iron Man to being an A-lister with the movies because Iron Man wasn't that big of a character in the comics, and a lot of people know that.
But
like I was saying, like, especially like comic fans, we know that Iron Man he had his own cartoon in the 90s, but I mean, he wasn't really like everybody's.
Which
channel?
which you can actually watch on Disney Plus. It's only one season.
I think it was on Fox.
I don't remember.
He had a mullet and a thin mustache and a goatee.
What's funny is because it was like in the same vein, they were trying to capitalize on the X-Men animated series because I think it was the same animators.
I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason why I watched Batman and the Batman and X-Men cartoon series is because it went I think it was like Batman, X-Men. I don't remember what order it was in, but they were at one was at 4, the other one was at 4:30, and then Baywatch was on at 5, and that's what I was watching.
She's like, I'm watching these crappy cartoons because I want to watch the Hoff. Okay,
that was the warm up to the Hoff.
Or Pamela, wherever you were.
All she wanted was to see David Hasselhoff in his sweaty, hairy chest.
Chest.
I was young. I was young. Like I watching the cartoons, and I was just like, I'll watch these because I'm waiting for Baywatch to come on.
I still can't believe Jason Momoa was on that show.
Yeah, I know, right?
I still can't.
Jason Momoa had Jason Momoa did a Australian version of Baywatch in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jason Momoa was realize he was in.
This is before his major role in Conan and Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones was what made him famous because Conan kind of flopped. But I mean, Game of Thrones is what made him famous when he played Khal Drogo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So CW getting owned. You were asking us about CW getting owned and how we feel what they're going to be doing now. got distracted to talk about famous comic characters and how DC should just probably put the Warner should put the DC universe to rest and vault for a while.
Yeah. And in more TV shuffling news, the John Wick prequel series that has been in development over at Lionsgate, the Continental, has now moved.
I was looking forward to that.
It's not being canceled, so they're just moving it.
Has now been moved from Starz to NBC's Peacock streaming service.
Yeah, because the first 3 John Wick movies are on there.
Yeah. Right.
So the Continental is planned as a 3-episode event series, with each episode being 90 minutes long.
Ooh.
And I know Lance Reddick is supposed to be in this, so I mean that's kind of a big
deal.
Lance Reddick is in everything right now, so I mean,
his voice though. I mean, come on, he's got a great voice.
So spin-off synopsis.
Man, I'm looking forward to that John Wick TV show along with John Wick 4.
Yeah.
The story. So you might be interested to know that the story for the series will be told through the eyes and actions of Winston Scott, who is dragged into the hellscape of a 1975 New York City to face the past he thought he left behind. Winston charts a deadly course through New York's mysterious underworld in a harrowing attempt to seize the iconic hotel, which serves as the meeting point for the world's most dangerous criminals. No date for the Continental has been released and will be showing on Peacock.
I like the way she read that. I like the emphasis. It's good.
I'm not good for very many things, but semi-homemade I am.
Now moving into this next story here, and it's not to rush off the John Wick, but I know it's because Wayne's about to get real excited.
It froze on my.
I think it's freezing on Wayne.
My screen froze.
Okay, we can still hear you though, so it's okay. But again, this is
okay. I may have to restart my computer after this.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, this one I kind of teed up for Wayne earlier, right? So this one, CW getting sold, but what does that mean for DC TV?
What? Say
well,
what?
Guys, the DC TV universe still has a future on HBO Max after Warner Brothers Discovery cost-cutting measures axed HBO Max movies Batgirl and Wonder Twins. I was upset about Batgirl, but really did not care about the Wonder Twins movie at all. I didn't care about the Wonder Twins in Super Friends, and I care about them less in a movie. And the cancellation or ending of a number of DC Arrowverse shows. According to Deadline, the DC series that are moving along include season 2 of Peacemaker, the hit Suicide Squad spinoff, created by director James Gunn, the Penguin spinoff series starring Colin Farrell that is set within the world of Matt Reeves' The Batman movies, and Green Lantern Corps, the new series from Greg Berlanti, the prolific producer who oversaw the CW's Arrowverse. There's no word about animated Max Originals Young Justice or adult animated series Harley Quinn, but the creators behind the latter feel pretty good and are very hopeful the mature rated series will return for a 4th season. And I thought they said they were in pre-production for Harley Quinn already. Oh, well. Season 2 of Peacemaker starring John Cena as a violent vigilante Christopher Smith will begin production in 2023 with Gunn writing and directing all episodes. Reeves' Batman limited series, tentatively titled The Penguin, is on track for early 2023 shooting start.
I just want to know, when is Peacemaker going to make his WWE debut?
Like as Peacemaker, though, not as John Cena.
Yes, as Peacemaker.
Yeah, he's just going to show up in that Peacemaker costume, like
John Cena.
Oh boy.
I'm sure she teed me up for that.
No, I really want to know. That would be. I feel like that would be epic. We need to.
Hasn't he been asked that in an interview? I feel like he's been asked that in an interview if he would ever show up as the Peacemaker in the WWE.
I feel like we should start a movement to everybody email Triple H and tell him that's what we want.
Right. We're all going to email Paul like today.
Just a one-off. You can do it at Mania. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like, dear Mr. Levesque, I am writing to you and saying your name for emphasis.
All right. So here's the $1 million question. Who's his opponent?
Rey Mysterio. Because the little dude in Peacemaker beat the crap out of John Cena, so we can just pretty much get a recreation of that with Rey Mysterio beating the crap out of John Cena.
And Rey Mysterio has dressed up as comic book heroes and villains in the past as well.
Yeah.
Maybe Theory.
Oh God.
Can cash in his Money in the Bank.
Why would Theory cash it in on Cena though? He doesn't have the title.
I don't know.
Well, actually, she could be onto something. Theory could cash in his Money in the Bank, and Peacemaker could interfere a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And he just
down and be like,
Theory throws him.
He keeps the peace.
Yeah,
because he's peaceful.
He sure needed to keep the peace at SummerSlam. Remember that match?
No, actually, the joke with Peacemaker is. I'm willing to have peace at all costs, even if it means I have to kill everybody to get it.
What an oxymoron, huh?
It's so funny, man. And I mean, that's literally a line from the comics. Like, Peacemaker is so out of his mind.
Maybe, yeah. I see the irony.
Speaking of out of your mind, and some good news about Ezra Miller. The Flash star Ezra Miller says they are seeking treatment for a complex mental health issues. In a statement provided to Variety by a representative of the actor, Miller broke their silence about troubling behavior that they have exhibited in recent years, which has led to a series of legal issues and assault and abuse allegations. Miller has also apologized for his actions.
They're non-binary, so that's why it's written that way.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good, because I struggle with that. Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment. Miller says, I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. The Flash is set to run into theaters on June 23rd, 2023.
So I don't know if you guys follow all the drama around Ezra Miller, but what do you guys think of them getting help for mental health? Because, dude, they've been a complete problem.
How old is he?
Mid-30s, I think.
I mean, I always applaud people for getting help with their mental health. I mean, I applaud that usually. I mean, I don't really know them that much because I haven't really followed them before. Was he the one in the series as well, or
no? That's Grant
Yeah.
Gustin, and there's a
Okay.
rumor that CW or not CW WB is trying to find a way to kind of fix the universe and have Grant Gustin take over in the
Gotcha.
in the main continuity,
Mhm.
because everybody loves Grant Gustin as
Yeah.
the Flash. Like,
Mhm.
he's a really good Barry Allen, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, but I mean, when you are kidnapping children and breaking into people's houses and stealing stuff and just doing the weird stuff that Ezra Miller is doing,
Yeah.
like, again, I applaud them for getting help, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think WB wants to deal with them anymore.
Yeah. I now that you're saying that, yeah, I believe I was reading the stories about that now. About yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, like I said, I still applaud that they're getting help. That's a good thing, obviously. But you're right, might not be the best look for, if they're playing a hero, might not be the best look.
Well, and then also on the flip side of that is when you are playing a hero, you that's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, like, I mean, I'm sure being an actor for such a big actor, on such a big project, I guess is what I'm looking for, that could in and of itself cause a lot of stress. And when you do have complex mental health issues, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of unlearning a lot of coping mechanisms, and those are, it's not something you could go away for 30 days and be cured. So I feel like it seems to me that if he is to go into recovery for whatever he is, I use recovery in the broad sense. If he is going to go into recovery for whatever he is struggling with, it's going to be a long road down the line.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess all we could do is like wish him the best and just let him know that it's not anything that can be fixed overnight.
Right.
Yep. And that's a big step. I mean, a lot of people don't even get to that where they realize that they need help. So at least you can applaud him for at least realizing that he needs it. So
see, I wonder if it's that they're realizing it, or if it's WB saying you need help. And
yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Every contract you have with us, because it's not just Justice League and the Flash. They're also in the Harry Potter franchise. They're one of the main characters in the Fantastic Beasts series.
Yep.
You know, and it's like,
Oh yeah, that's
already
where I
know-
recognize him
yeah.
from. I see the picture here, and that's what I
Yeah,
recognize him from.
and it's
Yep.
like, you already know that they're WB, they're willing to cut people. They cut Johnny Depp out of that whole series, and he's, you know, they replaced him. You know, they're willing to replace you
hmm
in a heartbeat if you're not
Yeah.
gonna, you know, stay on the up and up. And I mean, I feel like they've given them a lot of chances.
hmm
Other actors they've just cut completely.
Yeah.
With Ezra Miller, like all the trouble that they keep getting into, they still give them chances. They haven't cut them out of that role at all yet,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
They keep saying that they want to distance themselves from them, but like they haven't.
Yeah.
So maybe they're like, we think you're a good actor. We think you're good with this in this role. If you don't go and get help, you're losing everything we're gonna tank your
Yeah.
career, dude.
And maybe that's the reason maybe they're giving him a shot, is because maybe they've had a, behind the scenes kind of talk with him that we don't really know about, and maybe he's saying, okay, yeah, I realize I need help, and they're saying, okay, go get a shot. But only time will tell. See if he puts in the work.
Right.
Yep.
On to some news from a galaxy far, far away. Comic books. A new Marvel.
Yay!
But first,
I always do that.
a new Marvel comics one shot will look at the present and the past and the future of the Star Wars galaxy in comics. Marvel's okay. I'm getting confused with the Marvel and the Star Wars.
So
Is Marvel something different?
No, so Marvel Comics actually does their comics.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So Marvel's Star Wars Revelations, a special one-off issue that will set a course for the future of Marvel's Star Wars series, currently set after Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Written by Mark Guggenheim.
Nice.
Star Wars, known for Star Wars Han Solo and Chewbacca, Star Wars Age of Rebellion special. As the Sith to go to war with the Crimson Dawn in the pages of Star Wars Crimson Reign, Marvel's Revelations will look to the future as well as connect with the 5-issue Star Wars crossover series, Star Wars Hidden Empire. Star Wars Revelopsis.
Star Wars Revelopsis. Synopsis.
Star Wars Revelations 1 finds Darth Vader seeking out the Eye of Webbish Bog on Mustafar, a mysterious creature strong with the Force, in a tale that will tease the direction for Marvel's various Star Wars series.
Nice.
Now we all know that the Force can be used to glimpse the present, the past, and the possible futures. Guggenheim told StarWars.com the Eye is going to show Vader all of the above, including moments that will be coming into play in 2023 all across the Star Wars line. It's a real Star Wars story with Vader at the center.
Interesting. This seems like a cool story. Crimson Reign was a really good book. Hidden Empire was really good crossover series that they did. Han Solo and Chewbacca, that's an older one that he did, but that storyline was actually really good. And it talks about kind of like their bond. I'm not sure if this was the one also where they kind of go into like the original storyline from like I think it was in the 80s, where Han basically sacrifices himself and Chewie dies in the comic, which is now not canon, but like yeah, like it's interesting to kind of see where that story is going to go.
Marvel's Star Wars Revelation 1 will be available in stores in November 2022. So my birthday's in November. So if you guys want to get that for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's an idea for a present for Layak.
On to some surprising.
Actually,
no.
I was going to say,
Okay.
actually, for this one, now this one's specifically for Just the G-Man here.
Jump
Yeah.
off?
I think he
let me say first of all, the comic stuff and everything used to be my jam a long time ago, and I'm embarrassed to say by all the stuff that y'all put, I am so like out of it now. But I like this is why I listen to y'all's show so I can get back into it.
right.
I
Get
am
back into
totally.
comics,
That's
right?
why I've been sitting here like the whole night, like a deer in the headlights, kind of looking like, okay, yeah. Last movie I saw was probably 2012 for Marvel and everything like that. That's why I know I've talked to you on many occasions about finding out the right order to watch the Marvel movies, all that kind of stuff and
Right.
everything. So yeah.
Jackie Plum does too.
Yep. So yeah. So just wanted to say that.
Yeah, but this next story is specifically for Jester G Man right here. Bring in, guys. On to some surprising wrestling news. Brandy Rhodes, up until this past week, had not wrestled in any capacity since the January 26th episode of AEW Dark Elevation in Cleveland, Ohio. By the way, Wayne the Unknown, welcome him back. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a round of
I
applause.
don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what happened. My computer just started freezing all of a sudden. It just everyone's like frozen, and I was frozen, and
I will say you sound.
I don't know.
The audio's better.
Yeah,
this
your
time
audio sounds
around.
way better now.
Okay, I probably because I set my mic to the actual mic I'm using.
Okay.
That was really fucking weird. I missed like a whole lot. I'm like, God, and I know this thing is almost over too.
Yeah, you missed. We talked about Ezra Miller getting mental health help.
Yeah, how they're gonna apologize. I think just because due to the fact that they're tired of being called Reverse Flash.
That's actually a funny joke. And then we talked about Peacemaker and the Penguin and Green Lantern Corps and
that's right.
And
the potential Penguin show based off the Batman movie that came out.
Yeah, not potential. It's going into production in early 2023.
Nice. I honestly think. I mean, I know we're talking about AEW star returning to the ring. I think Colin Farrell did a really good job, despite how people were saying they wanted, actual heavyset actor to play as a Penguin.
I think he did great. There's the conception that people have of the Penguin based on Danny DeVito, which is very off of what the Penguin actually is. And then you have the actual Penguin. And I thought his portrayal of the Penguin was perfect. He was a mob leader. He was a dude that ran the club. I mean, like, they did a really good job. Colin Farrell did a really good job with that character, which is funny because a lot of portrayals of the Penguin, he has like a Cockney accent because in some stories he went to school in England and then came back. And I like that he made him like a down dirty, almost like New York mobster. But yeah, so going back into the AEW story we have here.
So you guys are.
What happened?
Go ahead, man.
Who, me?
Oh no, sorry. I was just making sure my computer wasn't frozen again.
Okay, no, because I thought Wayne was going to say something. So both she and her husband Cody Rhodes would depart from AEW, but while Cody returned to action for WWE with plenty of fanfare at WrestleMania 38, there was no word on what Brandy's future in the ring would be. PW Insider is now reporting that Rhodes competed at an in-house live event at the WWE Performance Center this past weekend. Cameras weren't rolling, so there's no video evidence, and she's not listed on NXT's internal roster, so it's unclear what her next step is in the company will be. Is Brandy joining the women's division? Let me know. What do you think, man?
Well, I mean, obviously, now that Triple H is in charge, I believe the women's division will probably, flourish. It'll probably grow. And, I heard,
It's already like 10 times better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's already improved leaps and bounds in the last couple of weeks and everything. The women are getting a lot more stories and they're getting longer matches. They're getting more emphasis. I think even I can't believe I'm saying this. Obviously, I'm glad I'm saying this, but it looks like the tag titles are getting more valuable as the weeks go on. So,
They're doing the tournament the
and
same
we,
way that they did with the U.S. title.
yeah, and I mean, I think a few weeks ago, I mean, some me and some other wrestling guys were saying that they should probably burn those titles, but now I'm glad I was wrong about that. I'm glad that they are being pushed and everything. So Brandy Rhodes. So I hear, the one thing that people are admiring about her is she's definitely putting in the work. I don't know, in her first run in WWE, she was just an announcer. She was just a ring announcer the first time.
Right.
I can't remember, was she an NXT ring announcer? Or I think she was, and then she moved up to the main roster for one of the shows. I can't remember which show it was. And then in AEW, obviously, I haven't been watching that. Obviously, I need to start watching that. Obviously, but yeah, I think she could be a good asset to the women's division. I think definitely so. Whether she's a singles competitor or she teams up with somebody, we'll see what happens there. And like I said, since she's already in the Performance Center, I think, believe it or not, I think she would benefit going to NXT first. I think she would, because I feel like generally, if you put somebody like that nowadays straight from just showing up out of nowhere and going to the main roster, it's not really a good move. Because I don't know, the audience isn't the same it was back then, so it's different. So but yeah, I think
I think she would kill it in NXT, and then build up that character, build up a lot of hype around her, and then move from NXT to the main roster, and she would just start. I mean, she would be a new competitor to go up against the horsewomen, because the thing is that before what we have now, there was pretty much the only competition on the show was the four horsewomen. Now of course right now we're missing Charlotte, but we have and Becky's out of commission right now. So I mean,
I hear Charlotte's returning really soon, though.
Yeah, but they're also saying that Sasha's coming back soon. So I mean, there's a lot going on with that too. I think Brandy would be a good asset to elevate that division. And as far as the tag team division goes, on that whole women's tag team, I love that there's a story within the story happening right now. So they're doing this tournament, and you have the whole situation with Asuka and Alexa Bliss going up against Control, and it's like, I love that they're not putting them in a position where they're getting ready to go and compete for the titles. Like, they're literally fighting next week for the semifinal, right? That's a cool place to put them, because it's like, okay, one of those teams is obviously going to win and move on and become or at least go to the championship match. But does that mean that Asuka and Alexa Bliss win, and when they get to that finals match, Control screws them over?
I honestly, believe it or not, I think, and I think somebody mentioned this in our group, in my group earlier today, I would actually think it would benefit more if you put it on the heels right now. I think it would benefit more if you put it on Dakota Kai and Io Sky. And let Asuka and Alexa kind of chase them a little bit. So yeah, I would think that would be a better storyline. But again, what I like about it is it's gonna marinate, because they're going to meet in the semifinals. Whoever wins that, which I think it's going to be Dakota and Io, it's going to win that one. Then they're going to have the 6-man or the 6-woman tag at Clash of the Castle. And then after that, they're going to I would imagine Sasha and Naomi are going to be back by then. And we'll probably see, what I love about it is there's so many possibilities now that are forming. That could, you could put a lot of teams in there, and just like a few weeks ago, you had one tag team that was in the women's tag division, and that team obviously dropped the belts and left. So now all of a sudden you've got a lot of teams competing. Now I will say, in this tournament, not to get off on a tangent too much, but in this tournament, I will say that I feel like a lot of these teams were thrown together, and that may have, Triple H might have to do a little bit of polishing on that. But at least you've got some of those teams in there that kind of feel organic, but not all of them do. So,
I mean, because you've had Nikki ASH and Doudrop together,
which I hope we're getting a repackage now.
yeah. I know that they're saying that Doudrop might be going back to her old what was
Piper Niven.
Oh, Piper Niven, that's what it was.
Piper Niven.
So she might be going back to Piper Niven, and then I mean,
Nikki needs to go back to Nikki Cross. I mean, there was nothing wrong with that character. That character was excellent.
yeah. Well, the whole thing was because they felt that she wasn't getting over as Nikki Cross, which was BS. But
Yeah, that's complete
yeah,
BS.
their whole thing was let's make her a superhero and we'll make her get over.
She was the psycho Irish woman. That's what she needed to be.
Yeah, I think between that and then Piper Nevin just being psycho to begin with, like I think the two of them can just like they could be that like punk rock. Let me beat the crap out of everybody group, and I think
I think if they go back to their original personas, if you put them back as a tag team, their tag team is going to be just credible just on their repackage, even before they get back in the ring and compete.
They were like the female head bashers. Remember them?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so not to continue going too crazy on the
talk about wrestling all night.
We can make that an entire episode, right? I got to ask you guys a question.
Before you ask this question, I'm going to say that this next topic is a shout out to Jim, our neighbor.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, Tyler. If you're not watching anymore, dude, this is a big total shout out to your dad right now. Oh God. So I gotta ask you guys a question, okay?
No, Bill, I can't tell you where babies come from.
Damn. Who is thirsty?
Thirsty in what way?
For ice cream.
God. I wish I had ice cream.
Yeah, thirsty for ice cream. All right, this is the weirdest thing ever, right? Miller High Life is taking ice cream in an interesting new direction by pairing the beloved treat with another beloved treat, the dive bar. Miller High Life announced a partnership with Tipsy Scoop to create the ice cream dive bar to not just celebrate dive bars, but the 100th anniversary of the ice cream bar as well. We have an ice cream synopsis. You want to read it, Jack?
Yeah. The ice cream dive bar is described as a combination of Miller High Life infused ice cream with mix-ins inspired by dive bars. The ice cream dive bar contains premium ice cream infused with High Life, and yes, actual High Life. The ice cream packs a 5% alcohol. What is that? I don't know what ABV means. It's alcohol.
Alcohol by volume.
Alcohol by volume. I knew it meant something. I just didn't know. So these are definitely treats for the 21 and over. And a delicious peanut swirl to bring in the saltiness of the iconic dive bar snack. A hint of tobacco smoke flavor to represent the scent of dive bar. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. Are they going to put a little Frank Sinatra? I could do like a little Frank Sinatra Jack Daniels.
No, they're going to put a cigarette butt right in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be
Taste a cigar and alcohol. I'll just stick to a stout. I'll just stick to a stout float if I'm going to have a adult version of something with ice cream in it. I'm good.
A gooey caramel swirl for the sticky dive bar floor feeling. God, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall on this advertising on this marketing meeting. And a fun sprinkle of carbonated candy because High Life is the champagne of beers. It's all dipped in dark chocolate in an homage to the dark wood and dim lights of a dive bar. Holy crap! What were they smoking at this meeting? Is what I want to know.
Tyler said he's here.
Good? Alcohol flavored ice cream with tobacco in it. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, they all had two highlights in front of them while they were making this idea. So.
For sure.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've had a bourbon flavored ice cream. I think I had it with you, didn't I?
Maybe probably.
Okay, so Ben and Jerry's made a bourbon flavored ice cream. I thought it tasted kind of weird, but I mean, like they made a bourbon flavored ice cream, right? Miller High Life should not be ice cream. I'm just throwing that out there, right? It's alcoholic, which is fun, but then the tobacco flavor, like I said, what are you doing? So you're taking this this Miller High Life ice cream, putting it around a cigarette butt.
It could be like piped. It could be like pipe tobacco because we do have a sensitive
Yeah,
candle
could
that's
be.
pipe tobacco that I burn all the time.
Yeah, that just
Jeez,
like
sounds just.
it's so weird.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
a bunch of stoners went into a meeting and came up with this.
Or just drunks in general,
Yeah.
right?
I
no,
Like I said,
mean,
they had a couple of highlights.
Again,
sitting in front of
The
them while
drunks
they were
that
coming up
sit
with
there and drink Miller High Life. No offense, Jim.
Yeah.
again, coming from someone who had a thing called a stout float, which is stout beer, and then you just put the ice cream in it.
that's
It tasted it tasted weird. I mainly had it for the ice cream. It's just basically a stout float. It's the adult equivalent to a root beer float. You're just
Well, like
instead of root
stout-
beer, it's a stout.
My-
With
But
ice cream
stout
in it.
makes sense because stout can be a dessert beer.
My neighbor and I used to drink root beer floats with a shot of Bailey's in it.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Ooh,
That's-
okay, that sounds good. That sounds better
I mean,
than
alcoholic ice cream, alcoholic milkshakes, and alcoholic things. Like I've had those before, and they're good, right?
Yeah.
Just this seems weird.
Well, I got to be honest. I was intrigued until the tobacco smoke was mentioned. Then I was like, "What? Nah, yeah."
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
I was actually
I don't know how I
curious.
feel about that.
until they mentioned
Well,
that.
I mean, if they sell it at stores, I'll buy it just for the hell of it.
Well, I've got news for you guys when it comes.
Make sure
to
you put it on. Make sure you put it on Instagram or on TikTok or something while you're trying
Look
it, just
up
to see
on
the
it. I'm
reaction.
gonna look it up on Instacart right now.
Yeah, but like again, so I've got some news for you when it comes to this, guys. This unique offering will be available on tipsyscoop.com and goldbelly.com. If you guys aren't familiar with Goldbelly, it's where you can pretty much order anything from around the country and have it shipped to your house. As far as food goes,
I've
So
used it before, actually.
yeah, and that's why I knew you would know know this. And in Tipsy Scoop's 3 New York City Barler locations, the treats will be available to all 50 states via overnight shipping. Though you will want to ensure that someone 21 plus is available to sign for the delivery because these are boozy bars.
I
They're
would have to
available-
be. I would have to be here in order just to make sure I get it.
They're
Hear my
available.
neighbor like, woo.
Oh, that'd be funny. They're available as a 6-pack. Forget this, $36.
Wow,
Single bar,
six-pack?
yeah, for a 6-pack.
that better
Six
taste
bars can be
amazing.
purchased
So
as-
I could just make my own for cheaper. I'll make it sick, but I could make my own.
I know, right? Like, whoop, okay, stomach. Single bars can be purchased at Tipsy Scoop Barlers for $6 each. You can order yours now.
Hmm.
Are we getting on Gold Belly and getting this, Jack?
No.
We're not going to get this and then and like overnight it to our so we can have it at the wedding and then like and we'll make a video of us trying it so that I can like throw up the taste of
The serious look in her face just says her body language and her facial expression just says it all.
I know, 'cause
That's,
she knows
that's not a hell no. That is a no.
what she's
Like,
saying
you know.
is do not waste your money on this stupid idea.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Maybe
how
if
you
it
sleep.
was
That's
$1.50 or $2,
that's how
maybe.
you
but
that's how you
$6,
sleep. That's how you sleep on the floor during your honeymoon.
Exactly.
So one of the best way, what you could do is you could order your boozy ice cream, dive bar ice cream, and if that doesn't quench your thirst, how about ice cold Technicolor Coca-Cola?
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm actually excited about this one.
Coca-Cola is
that sounds good, and I love Coca-Cola products.
Hold on, before we move on, Tyler said he's getting it.
do it. Coca-Cola is concluding a year-long effort to flavor the abstract with a new soda the company says tastes like dreams. Coca-Cola has announced its new drink, Coca-Cola Dream World, a soda meant to capture Technicolor tastes and surrealism of the subconscious. By inviting drinkers to dream with open eyes, the beverage giant said.
So basically, it's going to have acid in it because it's like, oh yeah, hey, we want you to dream out loud.
Or maybe they just won't.
This is basically what the bottle looks like.
Maybe
Just the same
they
Coca-Cola bottle with just a different word.
maybe they just won't be like synthesizing the cocaine
Oh, there it is.
because they still
just-
use a derivative of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So basically, wait. So then, if I have one sip, I'm going to just start tripping balls.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. What I'm saying. It's gonna.
Just give me a bottle of absinthe, and I'll be
You have-
fine.
It's gonna have acid, or it's gonna have a tint of acid and some psilocybin in it, and you're fine.
No, it's probably gonna be like a drinkable edible.
I know, right? That'd be.
Oh
that'd
God,
I'm looking at it right
a lot of soldiers have
now. What flavor is the Dreamworld code?
Yeah, I want to know what Technicolor tastes like.
They have
overwhelming. So basically, it'll have an overwhelming fruit aroma. Well, it'll rise as soon as you crack open a can. Basically, you'll be smelling like a bunch of fruity stuff. So it'd be a fruity flavored drink.
So this dream-inspired product brings to life the playfulness and brightfulness of dreams. With each sip, the line between fantasy and reality blurs. Fans will be able to unlock new taste, emotions, and adventures. Dream World arrives as the fourth and final addition to the Coca-Cola Creations roster this year, a series of limited edition flavors that the company has been releasing since February. With the debut of Coca-Cola Starlight, you had that one, yeah?
Yeah.
What did it taste like? You remember?
Yeah, it tasted a lot like vanilla Coke to me, but like after, like I had it a couple times.
Okay.
And I actually got more of the flavors that they said it was supposed to have with the Coke Zero version of it. And it tasted like burnt marshmallows and a little bit of raspberry.
Oh, that tastes good.
Yeah. The idea behind Starlight is it's supposed to taste like outer space. They say that outer space smells like cooked steak. Right. Or like astronauts have said that it smells like cooked steak, like when they're out there in the suits and whatnot.
What are these?
So the idea was to simulate that taste. They did burnt marshmallow, and it actually wasn't. It's pretty good.
So since February, the company has released Coca-Cola Bite,
which I couldn't find anywhere,
and Marshmallows limited edition Coca-Cola.
I had that the other day, and I remember. So I got the zero version of it, and it's a watermelon strawberry one. It actually was good. Because I remember I left the can in the living room. You're like, oh, you're getting Cokes without me? And it was like, yeah, no, it was like because it was a limited edition marshmallow one that I found. It was a Coke
Didn't
Zero.
Even save me a sip.
I know, right?
The company's first drink created in its collaboration with an artist. Since Dreamworld's flavor is based on the concept as opposed to food, it is unclear from the labeling what the soda actually tastes like, and it seems that it's exactly what Coca-Cola intends. Coca-Cola's Dreamworld flavor is available in stores now. I'm gonna look that one up on Instagram.
I don't know. Judging by the description, it sounds like this needs to be a 21 and over drink, huh?
It from what I was reading as well, it's got a tropical fruity aroma to it, and someone said it tasted like yellow Tic Tacs. The weirdest Coca-Cola drink I've had to date so far is Coca-Cola with coffee, and you can buy it in a can at your local.
I like that. I drank
it
for a while.
Before.
Yeah, I drank those for a while. They were pretty good because like they come in zero, so I was drinking those too.
I've had Coca-Cola with coffee, and it was a caramel flavor, and
I like.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel.
It definitely. Be sure to. It sounds like you'll be tweaking your ass off with Coca-Cola Dreamworld.
Yeah, I know, right? Definitely gonna be tweaking. That's.
I'm trying Philippe's hack for finding.
Look it up on Instacart. If you can find it on Instacart, it'll tell you what store it's at.
I'm gonna have to go to Walmart. I'm gonna have to go to Walmart now and buy some of this stuff.
But guys, that is it for the news. Are you guys ready for some rumors or a rumor?
I'm ready.
Sure.
All right.
I'm ready to spread some rumors.
I mean, that's kind of where we're going right now. So. With you.
No.
Yes, with you.
No.
The rumor that we have for this week, because it's just one, I'm a little excited about, so I'm going to kind of jump right into it. Star Wars The Acolyte has a rumor that could spoil a debut of a surprising character. Now, I was kind of hoping that we were going to see certain characters in this, and this rumor kind of brings in one of those characters I was kind of predicting may be in the show. The Acolyte may feature the live-action debut of one of Star Wars' most fabled characters. According to new rumors swirling online, the upcoming Disney Plus series may feature Darth Plagueis the Wise, the Sith Master who eventually took on Darth Sidious as his Sith Lord, or as his Sith
Ooh.
apprentice. The rumor comes from Redditor U-Asakas via Bespin Bulletin, an account growing in popularity on the Star Wars leaks subreddit. While the Redditor is unable to confirm the exact role of Darth Plagueis, it said that the Sith is involved in some shape, way, or form. The Acolyte is set in Lucasfilm's new High Republic era, which takes place approximately 100 years prior to the events of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. To date, Plagueis has only been name dropped by Sidious, played by Ian McDiarmid, in addition to his heftier roles in the outfit's Legends continuity. If the Sith Master were to appear in the Acolyte, it would only be his first major appearance in live action, but the primary Star Wars continuity as well. And there's also a book written by, I'm forgetting his name, Matthew Zahn, about Darth Plagueis the Wise, and kind of like where he was during. Apparently, he didn't die until right before the events of Episode 3.
So Darth Plagueis would be officially canon then, and not just part of the extended universe, like every other character we've only read in the books or video games we've seen.
Well, he is canon because he's mentioned in the first movie.
Oh, I mean, he'll have his official
Mhm.
like you said, live action debut instead of what he looks like in the books. Which he's I don't know what type of race he is, but I know he's an
member of the
alien.
Banking Guild. Yeah, he's a member of the Banking Guild.
Not the Lollipop Guild?
Not the Lollipop Guild.
He's a member of the banking clan.
Yeah, so you know the dudes with like the weird long heads.
Really?
Yeah, he's a member of the Banking Clan.
Oh, that one guy from episode 2 that said the banking clan will sign your treaty. The guy with the weird nose and pale looking, human looking skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need you to be a little bit more specific.
Darth Plagueis is a part of that. Is a part of the Banking Clan. So like he was.
So let me pull up a picture and show you.
If you look up Darth Plagueis the Wise, you'll be able to see.
So this is what Darth Plagueis looks like. He looks like he honestly looks like a character from Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
That is Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Okay.
Like he's basically Easter Island. He's one of the Easter Island heads.
And this is what the Bacon Clan member from episode 2 looks like.
Yeah, so, I mean, he pretty much looks exactly like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So imagine Darth Plagueis is gonna be CGI, most likely.
Not necessarily, because I mean, with the way they've been doing everything lately, with everybody, like all the things. I mean, they could probably make him a practical character.
I mean, they did a really good job with Grand Inquisitor and the Kenobi series.
Oh yeah.
Despite what people have said, I think the makeup was.
Awesome.
I think the makeup. You got to remember that that was a TV show compared to what you can do. Make a budgets in general from a movie to a TV show are going to be different. So you do with what you have.
Right.
So I think it'd be kind of cool to see Darth Plagueis as a practical effect. It's going to be interesting, but I think it can be pulled off.
Right. So that is pretty much it for what we have as far as news and rumors goes. Last thing I kind of want to go over, and this will be real short here, but let's do a little bit of Don't Cross the Streams. And what I'm bringing up here, Don't Cross the Streams, for those who aren't familiar with this, it's basically just streaming recommendations. So things to watch on the streaming platforms that are out right now. And this is mainly just because there's one show that I just want to recommend to everybody because for some reason not everybody's watched it.
Sandman.
Exactly.
Your thunder.
Huh?
Did I steal your
You
thunder?
totally stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Oh,
I was really just trying to guess. I didn't know that. I was trying to guess.
Yeah. It's fine. But either way, no, yeah, guys, it is one of the most faithful adaptations from a comic book to a TV show that I've ever seen. Right?
I've watched parts of it with him, and I want to watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, it
They've
is.
literally pulled stuff from the comics from what I've seen on TikTok. They compare the scenes from like the show to the comics, and it is spot on.
Yeah, I mean, some of the scenes they literally like they pulled scenes from the book and recreated them in live action, like in a way where, you know, a lot of times in live action stuff, they're like, okay, well, as long as we get the essence of it, then it's fine. Like they literally pulled scenes from the book and did it exactly scene for scene, and it looks beautiful.
See,
You
Warner
know?
Brothers, that's how you make something.
And it is Warner Brothers because that's DC Vertigo, right?
Yeah.
The thing is because number one, Neil Gaiman wrote the show, right?
He also wrote
you
Lucifer.
like when you have the creator of the book write the show, and he changed a couple of things that he felt made more sense in an updated era. He had control over the casting. So when you see people complaining about some of the casting, like a lot of people complain about Death, right? When you watch the show, you understand why he cast her as Death, because she literally is. I don't think you could have cast anybody more perfect when it comes to her attitude, the line delivery, the way that she kind of the emotion that she puts into the character. You get all of the essence out of it. Okay, I'm sorry you didn't get the white Madonna character that she was in the comic books that people were complaining about. I think she was great. I think she did that character so much justice.
Guess who's also in this show too? I didn't realize it until I saw a clip of it. Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. He has a very small role in this.
I saw the clip. I saw the clip. I'm like, no way.
Yeah, he plays Pumpkinhead, but I mean, like, yeah, he has a very, very small role. All right. Even then, it's Mark Hamill, so it's like, you know, it's one of those things where you recognize him as soon as you hear his voice, because he plays a full CGI character. You know, but like same thing. Like Matthew the Raven was played by what's his name?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, right? Patton Oswalt was again a perfect casting for Matthew the Raven, right?
Because I'm really good with voices, and I was like, oh my god, is that Patton?
I know that voice.
Yeah, I know. But then Tom Sturridge, who plays Morpheus, who plays Dream, I don't think you could have cast anyone better to play more. His name is Tom Sturridge.
Oh, okay.
He literally looks like the character from the comic.
But not only that, I was telling Jackie when I was watching the show, his voice in general is the same voice I made up in my head when I was reading the book. It's very commanding, very dark, very, very, very deep. And it was like, that's the voice in my head for Morpheus. And it was so perfect, man. Like, you cannot get a better actor to play Morpheus than Tom Sturridge. Except maybe Lawrence Fishburne, but that's a whole different monster. Don't cover some people's heads right there.
Oh, because it's Morpheus.
Because Morpheus from the
Yeah.
Matrix.
It didn't go over my head. It didn't go over most people's head.
But yeah, no. I highly recommend watching that. There are scenes in this series that I was not expecting to see on the show. Right? Like there were weird things that happened in the book, or things that were like just overly violent, that I was like, they're not going to put this in this TV show, and they show up. So I mean, like, there's a lot of, like, you know, crazy things that happen. There's a couple of things that, like, as far as like gripes, it's like there's a couple things, very small things that I was like more like, you know, oh, they didn't do this or they didn't do this. But most of it made sense. Like there's an entire story arc about how they retell Midsummer Night's Dream because Morpheus inspires it, and there's a kind of like a shout out to it, but they don't play that through. Or I was actually waiting for Jason Blood to show up when he goes to hell, and you know, they skip that whole thing, and I was like, oh, come on, no Etrigan the Demon. He's
man, awesome. I'm still waiting for a live adaptation of Etrigan the Demon and Jason Blood.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I was expecting, because there's an entire conversation in the comic book between Etrigan and Dream when he goes to hell, that they cut out, but it made sense because it was kind of like a side conversation. So it was just kind of like, okay, I understand this. They ended up giving the lines to another character, and I was okay with it. But it was like, I understand. He probably was like, I'm not going to introduce Etrigan the Demon, and when we don't have any backstory on Jason Blood, right? So I get why they chose to do that.
It's kind of weird how like Netflix is taking some DC characters and putting it on their show and making it slightly better than what we're seeing elsewhere.
Yeah. And again, I didn't know how to feel about Lucifer, because Lucifer was played by a different character, and the TV show is the same character from Sandman, and they chose to go in a different direction. But honestly,
It worked.
Dude, she had the role down. And what's funny is, I saw an interview with Neil Gaiman about it, and he was like, well, look at Gwendolyn Christie and look at Lucifer in the comics, and they show us side by side, and I was like, holy shit, Gwendolyn Christie looks just like Lucifer in the comic. Right. And he was saying, like, Lucifer is not supposed to have a sex. Like, Lucifer is supposed to be sexless, essentially. So he was like, that's why he cast Gwendolyn Christie, because he felt that she can embody the role, perfectly.
I mean, yeah, here is a version of Lucifer Morningstar from one of the comics. Blonde.
It looks just like Gwendolyn Christie.
and like Phil said, Lucifer can look like anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in the TV show Lucifer is a male played by, oh God, what's his name? He played as Robin Hood in another show.
Yeah. Really good actor. I loved him as Lucifer, man. Like, he had the naivete down really well, but that was more centered around the Lucifer comic book that came later.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There was like a small run on it.
And this is like Netflix's third DC show. There's also Sweet Tooth as well, which was produced by Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm. And that's also a Vertigo show. So I mean, like, or a Vertigo comic. So it's like not in the main continuity kind of thing.
Which is nice, Yeah. Because they always do those shows justice, in my opinion. And I'm kind of glad Netflix got a hold of them instead of Warner Brothers DC.
How would you rate it?
What? Oh,
Sandman.
Sandman.
Sorry,
I was looking at Philippe, but then his face is like right behind my camera, so it just looked like I was looking at the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you've seen it, you can rate it though.
Yeah. My rating, 100% on this is gonna be 10 weird mask totems out of 10 glass cases of emotion that he is trapped in for 80.
Okay. Whatever that means.
I definitely need to watch it because, like I said, the comparison I've seen, it was mainly on TikTok. I've seen it. They were like comparing the scenes from the TV show to the comic books, especially the one comic scene I've seen a lot was where he's sitting on a bench feeding birds and he's talking to death, being all mopey and sad. And like, wow. Like, I've never read Sandman. The only time I ever heard Sandman was the audiobook done by voiced by James McCovey.
Right. And the new audiobook was actually really good. They had a really good cast on that one. But yeah, I didn't read Sandman until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. So it was fairly recent that I read Sandman, but I fell in love with it immediately.
Just like me.
Exactly.
No, they did a good job on the casting from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, like Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite writers of all time. I've never read anything from Neil Gaiman that wasn't good.
And this is his second. And this is his second time a comic he's done has been turned into a TV show.
Third.
What was the third one?
Bad Omens on
American
American Gods on Stars, and then this one right here. And I
then
mean, that
Lucifer.
doesn't necessarily
So that's
Lucifer. Yeah, technically is another one, but I mean, that's 4 right there. But also, there was a movie that they made that was a Neil Gaiman book too. It was the one with forgetting it, not the Golden Compass. It was like in the same like vein of those things. Like it came out around the same time. It was with Robert De Niro, and he played
Stardust
Stardust. That's another Neil Gaiman book. That
and Coraline.
Coraline is also one of his. Like I mean, Neil Gaiman.
Coraline.
Yeah, well, Neil Gaiman writes a lot of creepy stuff, but I mean, like, but then you also take not just that, but like his Batman runs, or you look at his Justice League runs and stuff like that. Like he does
And
a lot.
Doctor Strange.
Oh man, his Doctor Strange run was really weird.
He does a lot of dark stuff, and
yeah,
I don't know who Neil Gaiman was until I started watching Lucifer once Netflix took it over, because Fox just basically, no, we don't want to do this anymore. So I'm glad Netflix took over Lucifer.
Yeah, it was a really good like I said, everything Neil Gaiman does is good. So I mean, again, this is probably the most faithful adaptation of any shows that was done. American Gods is pretty close. And Bad Omens, I heard was a good adaptation too. But Sandman was like, yeah, I mean, he's been trying to do Sandman since the 80s because the original book came out in 89.
I mean, I'm sure back then he was wanted to make it into a movie.
Yeah, well, his whole thing is, every time that somebody's approached him with something, it's never been good enough. It's just like, it's not going to be the essence of the movie or of the book. It's not going to look as good as the book, everything like that. Netflix gave them something where you can get the ultra violence in it, and you can get like all the different things that are a part of it, but still get like the good storytelling. You could do it in a long form format with high production, and it turned out great.
Oh yeah, no, and Netflix has a history of canceling good shows, but I'm hoping they keep this one on.
Well, this one's not going to get canceled. It's mainly because the reason that they're not going to cancel this, because it's the #1 show in Netflix history.
Oh, aside from Arcane.
Yeah. No. It surpassed Arcane, dude. Like,
oh, really?
Nice. Sandman right now, I think they said they had like 650 million views, because a lot of people already said that they've watched the show multiple times. They've had like 650 million views or something like that in a matter of like a week. James
was asking, does Neil Gaiman have merch? Like,
he might.
I think James is trying to prompt you to wrap up.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for you guys to finish talking. And
sorry, I got excited.
No, that's what we're here to nerd together. And
yeah.
James is raining on our parade.
Exactly. Like, we're having.
Stop raining on a parade, James.
We're just following our job description, James.
Yeah, we're having fun and nerding together. Okay, James? Stop making us not nerd together.
Oh, now he's bringing up Cobra Kai. Okay, well, next week when you write the copy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Make sure to add that.
Well, because James is rushing us along here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch, people. We got merch, people. Mm-hmm. Guys, we have merch. Guess what kind of merch we have? Not only the hats, like the one that's on my head right here, because our hats are going like crazy. And I thank all of you guys who are rocking. Special shout outs to all the people who are buying multiples. Hats cost $35 each, or $30 each if you buy multiple hats. So basically, if you buy one, $35, you buy multiple hats from us, because we have them in gray and Galaxy gray, and we have them in baller black for $30 each if you get multiple hats. We also have shirts, so you can get your shirts. DM us at Distance Nerding on your social media of choice. We'll get your size. We'll get your shirt reserved. $20 if you're local, $25 if we got to ship it to you. So get your merch in, and if you want stickers, let us know. We'll ship you some stickers. Why? Because we can.
Yes.
All good stuff.
All good stuff.
Good soup.
And then James goes, roll credits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the download, but we also have the build on Mondays on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Hang out with us as I build Lego, and we hang out with all of our nerdy friends from Mondays on Mondays from 6 to 8. Set your reminder, jump in with us this week. And I just put the
This week, I don't think we're having a build. Are we?
No, we are
We are
on Monday, the 22nd.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was. Oh wait, no, you're right. Just kidding. No, because James had brought it up, and he was like, "Oh, so are you guys going to skip this week?" And I was like, "No, I think we can still do it. I'll probably be ready to come home by Sunday night."
Yeah.
So.
The build live from the wedding.
The build
Wish.
live from the wedding. We're gonna live stream the wedding.
Well, I can't wait to see that.
That's not happening.
We do have we do have to do some sort of live stream something because half of my family can't be there.
Mhm.
So
we'll figure it out.
We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Yeah.
But this Monday, on the build, we have Av Cruz, who is the owner operator of Beehive Collectibles here in Sacramento, as well as a co-host on the Average Nerd podcast. A lot of fun with that show. They do a whole bunch of stuff. We've gone to live shows with them. And then Av has been a super hardcore supporter of us. He donates prizes whenever we do any kind of live events and things like that. So it's always fun. Actually, behind Jackie, you can't see it right here, but I have my Beehive Collectibles hat right there that I rock when I'm not rocking the Distance Nerding hat. So right there, guys, catch us on Mondays from 6 to 8, and then of course on Wednesdays, the show you're watching now, from 7 to whenever we're done. Now that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it is time for pluggables. So I'm going to start here with Jester G, man. Go ahead, man. Plug anything you want to plug here.
All right. So I don't know how many people listen to my podcast already. So all my pluggables or everything, most of my social media is at STS Wrestling. The only two that are different are Twitter and Twitch. They actually have pod on the end of STS Wrestling, so those are the only two that are different. I also have a Facebook group. Just go to the Facebook and just type in Setting the Stage and it'll come right up. You can ask to join everything. Pretty cool group in there. I think we had a few more members join this week, thanks to Young Phil. And we talk about all kinds of things in there. We were having a few discussions in there today. And I also have a podcast website. If you guys want to listen to my podcast, it's also stswrestling.com. If you guys want to, if you guys don't want to spend a lot of time searching for on Apple Podcasts or stuff like that, that's your one-stop shop to listen to all the episodes. And I think that's it.
All right. My man Wayne the Unknown, go ahead and give me some pluggables, man. Any shows that you're doing, any interviews, any live events you're going to be at, let everybody know where to find Wayne the Unknown.
So you can find me at Wayne the _unknown on Instagram, Wayne the Unknown on Twitter, Wayne the Unknown on YouTube. Let's see, starting end of the month, I'm going to be having another celebrity guest come on. He's the guy who played as one of the murder victims in Final Destination 4. Next couple months, there are going to be some more Geeking Out episodes, some more cosplay con talk. You can also check me out at October at Adam Medford on the 8th, as I will be doing another convention showcase episode. So yeah, be sure to, if you're going to that con, be sure to keep an eye out because I'll be conducting interviews with cosplayers, vendors, and special guests.
And you might see him on stage with us. You never know. There you go. Layak. Give everybody your pluggables.
I don't really have any pluggables. If you want to holler at me, get me on Distance Nerdington Post. Still trying to figure my life out with Instagram. But yeah, I am pretty much into anything that's like vintage history, genealogy. I love to stalk ghosts.
Stalk ghosts?
Yeah, I like to find out about ghosts, and I like to learn about people like that. It's weird. can't explain it. But yeah, I like anything like vintage history, specifically California history, even more specifically Bay Area history. Yeah, if you are at all interested in anything like that or going to be visiting the Bay Area and want to do non-touristy things, then you can always check out podcast Outside Lands San Francisco. They also have a website, Western Neighborhoods Project. There's that. If I'm a history nerd, that's what my role is here.
There we go. James is asking, how can we buy you a gift?
So if you want to buy a gift, if you go to Amazon and you search the registry for Meeker Ferrey, so MEEKER space Ferrey, FERREY, we're the only ones that show up. So I believe there's a function you can go in there, you can choose something. I think you can even do like a group gift and like put in with other people, but it'll send it to our house. We've already gotten a number of wedding presents actually already.
And there are Lego in there.
There's a ton of Legos in there.
Mainly for Phil.
Well, the funny thing is, so okay, I don't mean to make this any longer than what it needs to be, but who was it? Was it your cousin? His cousin.
My cousin Monica.
His cousin was like, "You have a lot of Legos on there." Like, I can't remember the conversation, but the sentiment was like, "That seems like a you thing, not a you thing, like a together thing." And I was like, "Well, he builds them, and I hang out on his show with him, so I'm like, it kind of is a you
kind
and
of
me
an us thing, yeah."
Yeah. And then I take him to work and put him on my bookshelf.
She does do that. She proudly displays my work in her office.
Yeah. Which is false advertising, because then the kids think I'm into Lego, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
No. My husband is. I'm not into Lego at all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know where to find us because you're here hanging out with us right now, right? There's that whole thingy thing going on right there. But of course, you can find us at Distance Nerding everywhere that anything exists. I said it at the beginning of the show, but Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, on the TikToks, because that's where all the youths are at, right? They're on the TikToks. Linktree, all at Distance Nerding. So to end it off on everything here, guys, if you have something you want to discuss, tell us what you're nerding out on and make sure to let us know in our Facebook group, The Distance Nerdington Post. Buy us a taco. Join the taco party. Ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is go to distancenerding.com and you can buy us a taco. What do we do with those tacos? We get you more prizes. We get more stickers. That's how we get things to give back to everybody else that's here. You contribute to our show. We contribute back to you. Guys, that is it from us. It is time for the dance party. We are going to get here. I'm going to make sure I've got the right song going on right here. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, thanks and keep nerding together. Ooh.
My only Funko Pop.
Distance Nerding.
This is James' appearance for the night.
Congrats on the big day.
See you guys next week.